Hello again. So, in this video, I want to talk about what I mean when I describe my service as a tantric escort service. So, I am a tantric escort, which is a little bit different to a regular escort. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't book me all night, and it doesn't mean that we can't go out for dinner and do all the typical things that you do when you book an escort. It just means that I have a different approach to sex and sexuality. I have a very expansive approach towards sex. Let me explain what I mean by that. So, I've now worked in the sex industry for a while, and I have noticed that it's not always the most authentic, genuine, um, and fulfilling experience. I think that I've had a lot of experiences where I've left a client and they have been so sad by my departure. Um, I've sort of also, I've, I've spent time with people who are really lonely. I've spent time with people who um, carry shame around their sexuality, and I've also spent time with um, people who are really disconnected. Okay, so people who do copious amounts of cocaine as a stress relief, and who've kind of been doing this for so long, like they've been seeing escorts for so long that there there's an element of boredom for them. There's an element of like, oh, another pretty woman, another pussy. Oh, how are we gonna make this exciting? You know, kind of a little bit like porn addiction. You know, you watch it and you get off, but there's something missing. You know, and generally, what's missing is intimacy and a connection. I think ultimately we're all craving that. As shut off as we are and as, busy and successful as we may be, there's nothing really that compares to really connecting with another human. So, another reason why I wanted to create this service is because I think as a result of that disconnection, we're not experiencing anywhere near the level of pleasure that is possible in sex. It's all kind of this built up tension around our sex center, around our groin, and it builds and builds and builds and concentrates in that area and then releases on ejaculation. Or for a woman, it releases during what the tantrics call as an explosive orgasm, and it's kind of like it can sometimes feel like a lot of work for a little high, and then what? Yeah, and then you just have to wait for the next high, right? So tantra is about becoming really in tune with your body, and really in tune with the beautiful, delicious subtleties around sex. It allows us to de-armor, so let down those barriers and those guards that we have. Also, and as a result of that, we end up having deeper, more fulfilling experiences. It also spreads pleasure throughout the body. So you're not just experiencing it in your groin, in your penis, as a woman in your vagina. It's actually something that's flowing, and you are feeling, you are having sensations all over your body, everywhere, up through your head, down to your toes. Your orgasm is reaching your entire being, and everything in you is alive and awake, and it's an expansive experience. You feel fuller. You feel less strained after the orgasm. Um, it's an energy that if you learn to harness it and use it, it's something that can really spill over into your life and bring you pleasure at all times, really. Just to give you a little example of how sexual energy can be a really powerful energy. I met an Olympian once who was a runner, and he told me that 6 months before a race he didn't have sex. He didn't ejaculate because he knew the power of the potency of that sexual energy, and that was going to get him to be the best runner. It was going to allow him to conserve his energy and turn it hopefully into a gold medal, right? So when we have this sexual energy build up inside of us, it gets a little, particularly if it gets stuck in the groin area, it becomes a hindrance. It becomes agitating, and we have to do something with it. And then we start to become addicted to sex and getting off. And get addicted to porn. We become desensitized. And it's like we have an orgasm, and it's like, yeah, and so what? Yeah, what's the big deal? What's the big deal about this sex bizzo? Yeah. So I want to introduce and share some of the knowledge that I have, that I feel very blessed to have gained. I have been training with absolutely wonderful, amazing tantric instructors, and I would love to take you through a process of lovemaking that is tantric. Yeah. Now this is might be a little bit out of your comfort zone. It might seem unfamiliar to you. It doesn't require any belief systems. It's very simple in some ways, but it's very powerful. It just requires you to be open and present, yeah, and to be willing to try something new. So I really invite you to be curious and to approach your time with me as a bit of an explorer, yeah. What I do in my session, if you only want to book me for a couple of hours, what we would do is the first hour is kind of like a tantric initiation. So if you book me for 2 hours, you don't get to fuck me straight away. And when we do fuck, it's going to be a million times better. So what I mean is we don't have sex in the first hour. The first hour, the first hour of our sexual experience. So you might want to book me for 4 hours, and then you might want to talk for the first 2 hours. You might want to go have dinner. But from the time that we start our sexual experience together, the first hour is a tantric initiation. So what we might do, there might be, actually, I'm not going to tell you very much about what happens there. I'm going to leave it as a surprise. If you really want to know more, we can certainly talk on the phone. Um, but we go through a few processes together. Where basically what I'm getting you to do is to tune into your sexual energy. Getting you to really feel your body. So we might do some massage, we might do some meditation. Okay, I'm telling you. We may do some intimacy work. And once we are in a really, our body's feeling awake and alive and turned on and connected, then we fall into this very beautiful present lovemaking. Yeah, there's no reason why it can't be lovemaking just because we don't know each other. You can actually have extremely intimate experiences with strangers. So, um, so then we explore that, and that could become, that could turn into a really primal porn star experience. I do that too, but you don't get to just grab me and like pound me. That's not gonna happen. It's gonna be a process. It's gonna be a process. It's gonna be a beautiful process that we both go through together, and it's really, spending time with me is really a great opportunity to learn about women, what women really want, to learn about the very complex vagina. There are 8 different orgasms that a woman can have. Um, to learn about how to really open a woman and tap into her receptivity. We can certainly work on any issues you may have, anything to do with premature ejaculation. We can work on on your sexual potency if you're having trouble getting hard. I can teach you how to give a woman great pleasure. Is that you're an absolute rock star. Oh gosh, what else can I do? We can also work on anything to do with confidence, um, and calling in a girlfriend. We can work on issues within your relationship, your current relationship. Yeah, so this is a niche service. Yeah. Mm. So if you'd like to see me, you know where to find me. Veronica Love, over and out. Hopefully, I talk to you soon.